Hi, and we're live at the Super Game Bros podcast, the official podcast of RambleMedia.tv. I'm your host, Ricky McMillan. And as always, I'm joined by Danny Black for this year's E3 prediction show. Super Game Bros podcast is sponsored by G2A.com and No Scope Gaming Glasses. So, with E3 just around the corner, uh, what do you see coming over the horizon towards us now? As you know, Danny, Nintendo have already announced that the majority of their presentation is going to involve the Legend of Zelda for the Wii U and for the next console, the NX. Both the NX is scheduled to be released next year on March the 23rd in the UK. Do you actually think that, other than Zelda and a couple other games that they says they're going to be showing in the Nintendo Treehouse, Nintendo are going to be giving us anything else?
Um, Maybe just like Zelda. I've heard rumors that Nintendo are actually holding off on production of the Nintendo NX because they want to include VR.
Well,
I've heard that from various sources.
it's interesting that you bring up VR, Daddy, because I heard from a source today that Microsoft have had the Oculus Rift running on a £300 machine. Now, whether that implies it is the Xbox One or whether that implies it's a really cheap PC, we don't know. What we do know is that it means that it doesn't need the projected 5 teraflops processing power that
Yeah.
that people have been telling us for over a year. Now, I don't think myself and you, Danny, we've had a couple of discussions in regards to the viability of VR, and as you know, I don't think VR is a viable thing for console gaming. It does have educational purposes, yes, but as a console, gaming thing, I can't see it. You've got the motion sickness, you've got all of that involved, and I personally can't really see that happening. Now, in in another breath, I can see augmented reality, HoloLens, that sort of thing. However, we digress. Let's just stick strictly with Nintendo and our predictions, because after all, that's what this is. It's an E3 prediction show. So, Danny, do you have any games that you possibly think Nintendo may surprise us with at E3?
Um, Nintendo sort of really do their own thing, as they have done in previous years. They sort of announce things before E3. I haven't really been following too much with E3 or to do with Nintendo. I've been out of the loop apart from the NX thing.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be pretty underwhelming.
Well, Nintendo tend to have, their presentation tends to stand out because they've got, like last year they had guys out on the stage in big suits, and the year before they messed up, but it was deliberate, and then it wasn't deliberate, and it was all
Yeah,
great PR. Because essentially that's what E3 is. It's just a PR opportunity for the majority of
yeah.
these companies. Now, if we bypass Nintendo, because as I've said, Nintendo have announced, that they're going to be concentrating on Legend of Zelda, and they're also going to be showing off. I think it's something like 8 other games. They announced the list last week,
Yeah.
and I believe some of those games are for the DS and the 3DS. Now, before we came on air, I heard a rumor about another game that they're just going to stealth release in time for E3 for the 3DS. But whether that's true, I don't know, and I wouldn't like to say the name of the game at this
Mm,
moment in time, just in case it doesn't actually, happen.
yeah. There's two games in particular I would love to hear more about. The new Pokemon for the 3DS, and
Uh huh.
also the way they're doing a like real world Pokemon game or for like mobile devices.
Yes,
I would
yes,
love to hear
yes.
more about that. I
See,
am super excited for that.
that's another use of augmented reality.
Yeah.
Now,
It wouldn't surprise me, sorry to interrupt you there. It wouldn't surprise me
no,
if
no,
they brought out a like hybrid AR VR kind of thing, because Nintendo have been known to sort of push the boundaries in terms of like user experience. Take the Wii and the Wii U, for example.
exactly. I mean, how awesome would it be if the NX was actually a AR VR unit that you just attached to, say, the Wii U?
Yes,
How immense would that be? And
that would
e-
totally kill all the competition in my eyes.
it would, or it would, and more importantly, with Nintendo's prowess, they're only starting to flex their muscles in regards to mobile phone apps, as seen by the recent release of the app for the Android and iPhones, Mi World. Where it's your Nintendo Wii, it's your Nintendo account. You can chat with people, things like that. Now that they're
Yeah.
starting to flex their muscles that way, do you see? And I'm not saying Nintendo are going to move or they're going to announce a move into mobile gaming, but do you think that Nintendo will also approach the NX with the view, and even E3 with the view to maybe coming out with some mobile phone apps that will draw people into whatever various game worlds they have,
Hmm.
regardless of whether you like the game or not. If you get what I mean, like if I
Yes.
don't know many people, right? But I'll use Zelda as an example because we know that's definitely there. Uh,
Yeah.
Now, if they turned around and said, "Here's Legend of Zelda Wii U is going to be released on the same day as we're releasing the NX, and there's an NX version," they've already said that, right?
Yeah.
They've already said that. But what if they then turned around, people in costumes and all that? Somebody dressed up as Zelda, somebody else dressed up as Link. Yes, folks, Zelda and Link are two different people. Be surprised at the amount of people that get that wrong.
Yeah.
Uh, Now, could you see them saying, and what we've done is we've came up with this app, and you can, you know, go about the world of Hyrule using this app and your me and doing this, that, and the other, maybe solving a puzzle or two along the way that would maybe unlock things with the game, that sort of thing. I mean, Grand Theft Auto, Rockstar did it a couple of, a while ago
Yeah.
with their GTA app, where you can interact with your online game through the app,
Mm.
upgrades on cars, that sort of thing, as well as the single player with Chop the Dog.
Yes.
I'd love to see more of that level of interaction between mobile and like traditional console gaming. Obviously,
Um.
obviously with desktop gaming, PC gaming, you've got various apps that do that sort of thing anyway that are strictly
Yeah.
aimed for PC. I mean, we're
Exactly.
using one of those apps, a communication app right now to do this simulcast.
Yes.
But do you think that Nintendo are going to end up, they're going to end up dominating? Obviously, they're dominating their niche, which is like family gaming. They've got that wrapped up
Yeah.
tight. You know, that's why I would say a lot of the PlayStation and Microsoft games, for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, and even going into the PC versions of those games as well,
Yeah.
are aimed more at the solo individual player and not so much sitting with your wife or your girlfriend or your kids or
Yeah.
whatever and sitting playing a couple of games of Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Nintendo have got that market wrapped up tight in a tiny wee ball, and they've said that's ours and nobody else can get it.
Um. It wouldn't surprise me if they did like mobile versions of the games that they release on the NX. Like say for example, if you're playing, there's the rumored Pokemon game that's coming out, Pokemon Go, I think it's called.
Yes.
If you could put that on the big screen through the NX and play it through an X controller by streaming through your mobile, because we all know that's going to be a mobile only game.
Yes.
Mobile gaming in Japan, especially, is massive. It's actually bigger than console gaming to a certain extent. Take Konami, for example. They have pretty much pulled out of console gaming to a certain extent. You know, their last console game, I think, was PES, or that's the
Uh,
only console game that they'll ever be doing. You know, from here on, it's PES.
yes, that's the number one console game that they are going to be releasing on like a kind of regular basis. I don't even
Yes.
I think that they'll end up, easing that back to maybe once every 2 or 3 years, so that they
Yeah.
can make improvements. Because like, as much as we like to slate EA, right? As much as we like to do it,
Yeah.
right? All we can say really about EA and their EA Play event that we have actually that we know about is the fact that they're going to announce that FIFA 17. They announced it today, but they're going to show it off. But FIFA 17 has been done on the Frostbite engine, which up until now was exclusively for Battlefield, and then the new Mirror's Edge Catalyst game
And Need for
has
Speed as well.
and Need for Speed. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
correct. Up until the Need for Speed game, it was exclusively Battlefield territory,
Yep.
and now it's something different.
What was that engine they were using? Was it Ignition they were using to
Yes,
bring the well? That's gonna
yes,
be a complete fail for them then if they're going to Frostbite.
yes. Unless, of course, they're going to use Frostbite 1.0, which features universal destruction. I don't know how that would work at Wembley Stadium, but you catch my drift. Now,
Yeah.
obviously, we'll move on from Nintendo because I don't. There's not really much that we can predict from Nintendo,
Mm,
except maybe one or two surprise games. Maybe a Legend of Zelda collection
again.
sort of thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
only this time it's been upgraded for the Wii U.
Yeah.
Just to keep you going until they release the next Zelda. Uh, so we'll move on to, as much as I said, as much as we hate to slate them, we'll move on to EA, right?
Yes.
Other than the fancy marketing, which we all know actually translates as we want lots and lots and lots of your hard-earned cash.
Hashtag microtransactions.
Yes, what can you see EA announcing? Now, bear in mind, EA own so many different, development houses.
Yeah.
And on top of that, they were lucky enough to get the Star Wars contract,
Yeah.
the Star Wars franchise. So, strictly speaking, just about Star Wars, what can you see EA giving us?
Possibly another Battlefront, which I sincerely hope is going to be so much better than the previous.
Well, they did announce 2 weeks ago that they were going to be doing a Battlefront 2, but
Yeah.
we haven't. We don't know any other details. For all we know, Darth
Yeah.
Maul could be in it. We don't know. Uh,
Um,
they haven't announced much more about that.
I think they're definitely going to announce a Titanfall, and it won't be console exclusive like Titanfall 1. I think it'll be released um, across the board. Maybe have timed exclusives or Xbox, because EA and Xbox seem to be like in bed together kind of thing. If you look at Battlefield 4 as an
Yes,
example, all that content came to Xbox One first, and then a month later came to Sony.
yes, this is true, and I think they'll probably do the same again this time round. However,
Yeah.
I am very dubious about Star Wars being in the hands of EA. Right. First up, Battlefront. No space battles. It's a space-based universe. Why
Mm.
is there no space battles in this game?
No Man's Sky is doing it better than a team 10 times the size.
Yes, of course. However, let's talk about some of the other development houses that EA own. Right. Volition. Volition are going to be announcing a brand new IP, as well as we're going to be hearing more about Volition's Star Wars game.
Yes.
Now, all we know about the Star Wars game is currently is that it's an RPG of some description.
An MMO was it you told me it was going to be,
Well,
or was it just
well,
an
no.
RPG?
As I was saying, folks, we have discussions about what we're going to be talking about on, the Super Game Bros, and these discussions last for weeks. So, we were talking a couple of weeks ago about EA and Star Wars and things like that, and Amy Hennig going on board, and one of the things that we've heard, and this hasn't been confirmed by anybody, but the MMO, The Old Republic, done by BioWare, which is of course owned by EA,
Yeah.
may be getting a port across to the consoles, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. But that isn't confirmed, and if that was going to be announced, they would be making there'd be a lot of waves coming out of EA just now, a lot of Star Wars waves. You know how Bethesda last year started giving out the Fallout 4 vibe. You know,
Yeah.
before we got all the leak stuff for the website because they unlocked it earlier than they were meant to.
Mm.
But that's a whole other story. I can see Volition being the company that's going to be doing a Han Solo RPG type game,
Right.
uh, and it'll probably be along the lines of Star Wars 1313. But the protagonist has changed, and that means that parts of the story will have been changed. 1313, folks, as you know, is the game that got canned a couple of years ago, and everybody was crying because the main protagonist was Boba Fett, and well, we all love a bit of Boba Fett, don't we?
Oh yes.
Yes, exactly. However, the the other thing is, I can see EA announcing a Star Wars Space Battles game,
Right.
right? See, like
I'm a bit dubious.
Rogue Squadron or Jedi Starfighter, you know,
Yes.
something like that. I can see them doing that simply because of the amount of tweets and Facebook postings they got when people learned that Battlefront didn't have, you know, any space battles in it whatsoever.
Yeah.
What's your take on that? Do you think, there's a chance we're going to see some announcement regarding a Star Wars space game?
Possibly maybe a racing game. I've enjoyed the previous racing games in Star Wars name. Um, it wouldn't surprise me because it's EA and EA love jumping on the bandwagon for like movies and stuff.
Well, it's not so much they're jumping on the bandwagon. They've got probably largest, pardon me, the largest video game franchise in the world at the moment.
Yes.
It's theirs for 5 years. So they've already released a mobile game. They've
Yeah.
already released Battlefront. Uh, there's the potential for Battlefront 2. You know, maybe showing us some alpha footage like they did with Battlefront when they first announced it.
Yep.
And I hope that's the case. I hope if they do that, we're going to see something that involves space. You know, to me, I got Battlefront. It didn't feel like this, like the Star Wars universe. It
Yeah.
sounded like it. It looked like it, but it didn't feel like it. There
It didn't
was
feel like a game that DICE really put 110% into. I think most of that money that they paid for it had actually went to the licensing rights for Star Wars.
oh
And
well.
then they were like, oh crap, we've actually got a game here to develop, and they didn't
So what?
really.
So what they did is they basically reskinned a Battlefield game.
Yes.
That's what I think.
Beautiful
Now,
looking game.
obviously they're going to say, "Oh no, 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 we didn't do that." Right? As gamers, we know if you've played Battlefront, you'll know yourself. They've effectively reskinned a Battlefield game with Star Wars
Yes.
assets. That's it. Nothing more, nothing
Mm-hmm.
less. Now, Mass Effect Andromeda. We're going to see a hell of a lot more about that at E3. I think that people at the EA Play event that's the weekend just before E3 starts, it finishes the day
Yes.
before the keynotes. Uh, I think people are going to be able to go out onto the EA Play floor and actually sit and play Mass Effect Andromeda.
Mhm.
And I think that what people are going to take from Mass Effect Andromeda is they're going to say all the Star Wars games have to be done this way,
Yes.
right? And we know because of the amount of different companies that EA own, that's not going to happen. We know this for a fact, right?
Yeah.
That BioWare are only going to be able to do all of the Star Wars games. So they're going to piecemeal it out, to this company. Criterion might get something. And to be honest, I think Criterion might actually be the company who should be making the space battles type game, Jedi
Yeah.
Starfighter or Rogue Squadron kind of thing.
Yeah. I
The
agree.
reason being is because as much as the last two Need for Speed games have been, in my opinion, and it is, let me stress, my opinion, utterly terrible, they they do know their thing when it comes to space, right? As do
Yeah.
as do Visceral, right? But I genuinely think that Criterion should be given any kind of space-based game, where you're flying about in ships and that sort of thing. The reason being that with the physics engine that they've incorporated into the Need for Speed games, they would probably get, the turning arcs and the acrobatics that these ships can do, that you see in the movies, and they'll be able to translate that onto the video game screen much better than practically anybody else could,
Yep.
except maybe Hello Games and No Man's Sky, and we'll talk about that, when we get round to doing PlayStation. So now that we've touched on EA, and I did say we've touched on EA because anything else we're just going to go into the realms of let's just slag EA for 20 minutes like we used to do. And I don't want to do that. What I want to do is I want to move on and I want to talk about Microsoft. Now, it was leaked today that Dead Rising 4 is going to be announced at E3. And it was also leaked that Dead Rising 4 is an Xbox One PC exclusive, which to me is an interesting thing. A lot of people are going to be hoping against hope for the Fable franchise to have been picked up, but without realizing, of course, that the Fable franchise is the reason that the Fable developers, that Fable isn't being released, because Microsoft would not allow anybody else to take over that license, even though they closed down the development house. So, right now I think Microsoft are going through a transition stage in regards to the politics, in-house politics, and that's not for me to speak on, simply because I don't know enough. What I do know is that they're probably going to announce a slimline version of the Xbox One.
Yes, I've heard rumors
Uh,
about that actually, that it might be 4 times more powerful than
the current
the PS4.
PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
Yes, the current PlayStation 4s. And I say current, and there's a reason why I say current, and we'll get to that when we're discussing PlayStation shortly. Now, I also think that I've also been led to believe by sources that Microsoft are going to be announcing a new racing game. Now, I haven't been told if this is a new IP, so I'm assuming at this point that it isn't. So the chances are it's going to be Forza Horizon 3 or 4,
Yeah.
or whatever number they're at to with Forza Horizon. I think it's Forza Horizon 3. They're definitely going to 100% announce a racing game at E3.
Yep.
Obviously, with their connection to EA and the EA Access, there's going to be a lot of games announced that will go onto that. I'll go onto the Access program. They're also going to announce a platform game, I believe. Right? A lot of people are hoping it's probably, like Conker's Bad Fur Day, that sort of thing. I don't know. All I know is that, that's, from what I've been told, the main priority for Xbox this year is going to be the slimline Xbox One, their new racing game, a new RPG that's been done in-house, and something to do with the Halo franchise.
Yeah.
I think the Halo franchise thing is either going to be a remastered Halo Reach, or it's going to be a brand new Halo Reach based on whatever the events were of Halo 5, which I
Yeah.
haven't played, so I couldn't tell you how it ends. So I don't know
Um,
how Halo Reach would be expanded after that.
my opinion on that whole Halo thing is that they need to give that series a rest and time to breathe. They just seem to be cranking out Halo title after Halo title.
Well,
It just
as far as I'm aware, you know, the
it feels like that.
majority, with the exception of the release of Halo 5, the other Halo releases that have been on Xbox One have just been remasters or upgraded graphic versions of the original Halo games.
Yes.
Now, initially, at the start of this generation, remasters weren't a bad thing, right? In fact, some of the games that were released as remasters this gen, I believe, and you can see this on one of the earlier podcasts, I believe that they were actually not meant to be released on the Xbox 360 or the
Yeah.
PlayStation
Grand Theft Auto, for example.
Grand Theft Auto is a certainty that there was meant to be a lot more content that couldn't be put onto the older generation
Yeah,
consoles
that's quite
because
evident.
they just can't handle the power. That is
It's
quite
quite
evident.
evident by what they've done with it now. It's
Yes.
still a game I play regularly on a nightly basis.
Is it?
Yeah.
I would never have known that you play Grand Theft Auto on a regular basis, Danny. I would never have known that. Ever.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, Now, the other thing about uh, Microsoft is that I don't think they're actually going to go massively with this new Xbox One console. I don't think they need to. I think if they turn around and say, well, this is more powerful than the current PlayStation 4,
Hmm.
people are going to be, people who haven't got a next gen console or are dithering, they're going to say,
Yeah.
yeah, wait a minute, that maybe like a Xbox One, just because this is going to be more powerful than the PS4. And they've got
Yeah.
practically the same games.
People like the words powerful because of the inherit something that's better.
Yes,
You know,
yes,
it's all about
exactly.
sound bites. I did hear a rumor as well. Sony's going to be joining Microsoft on the same stage to announce cross network play.
And if that happens, peace will descend across the world,
Yes, or there'll be
and
a civil war.
and the devil will be going to work in a snowplow that day because hell will have frozen over. Because Sony and PlayStation have been very reticent in regards to cross network play,
Yeah.
and I, I don't know why. I personally don't know why. Right, but they
Um,
have been, and it may be something to do with network stability issues.
you
You
know
know,
that car game with football on it, Rocket League. It's got cross network play. It's fully cross network play now with Xbox One, PS4, and PC. I haven't
yeah,
played that game in quite a while, but that's the start of it. And look how well it was well received by everybody.
aye.
You know,
Uh, Oh, that was a great thing when they announced that they were doing Rocket League
mm,
crossplay.
they
That was
really need to do
fantastic.
it for more and more games.
Yes, but you know they're not really. You know, a lot these companies are going to be saying that means that we've got to share. You know,
The
revenue for microtransactions.
thing is, a lot of people don't realize, but Hideo Kojima, not Hideo, the guy that Xbox, what's his name? Uh,
Phil Spencer,
yes, that guy. He is friendly with
Adam Boyd.
Sony. Yes, that's the one.
Yes,
They're
and
very
he's also
friendly.
and he's also friendly with PlayStation 4 system architect Mark Cerny. So
Yes. So there's like no need for the whole
yeah,
Xbox versus.
no, I agree with you there, Danny. There is absolutely no need whatsoever for any of the nonsense because let's be honest, everybody's got a favourite console of choice,
Exactly.
right? And nobody should be denigrated or degraded because they've chose PlayStation 4 or the Wii or
Yeah.
or whatever, right? Because at the end of the day, you play what you're familiar with.
Yep.
You know, I know friends of mine. I've got friends who would love to go to the PlayStation 4, but everybody that they play video games with are on Xbox and they'll move on the Xbox One. So it's not
Yep.
that they feel obliged
That's
to
why
go.
I want cross network play for
Uh,
90% of games.
that's why, but they're comfortable with that. So
Yeah.
you know, there's that sort of thing as well. And I think that companies like EA will certainly be on board with the cross play
Yep.
idea. You know, now as I said, there hasn't been much coming from Microsoft that we know of, but with EA just round the corner, the leaks will get more and more as the days go by. I mean, today was the start, Dead Rising 4.
Yep.
So I believe that they'll continue on through the course of this week, probably up until Saturday morning, and then EA. And there'll be a lot of reviews and a lot of leaks on Saturday morning
Hmm.
regarding what's going to happen at EA Play. And then after that, there's going to be nothing. So,
VR, I've heard. You've told me this.
well, yes, Oculus Rift.
Yes.
I think, and I'm not saying that they're going to, but as a prediction, I would say that Microsoft will probably announce some kind of partnership with Oculus Rift in regards to the Xbox One, with a possible release of maybe later on this year, if not this year, very early next year. And
Yes.
obviously that's just to compete with Sony's in-house VR unit, which we all know is PSVR, but it's working. Its original name Morpheus was much better,
Yeah.
you know, in my opinion anyway. Now, moving on to PlayStation themselves, actually, PlayStation are going to announce an AR unit, an augmented reality display unit for the PlayStation 4. Any thoughts on that?
I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. It seems to be what Microsoft does, Sony does, and what Sony does, Microsoft does, kind of thing. I can see them packaging the AR and VR into the one bundle. You know.
Which means, of course, they would have to announce a new console, which
Yes.
the chances are the PS4 Neo, which is its working code name.
Which is a
Uh,
better name than the 4K.
yes, but we know as the PlayStation PS4K uh, will more than likely be announced.
Yeah.
However, I believe that PlayStation's main focus this year won't be in AR, won't be their new console or their new version of the PlayStation 4.
Hmm.
I believe that PlayStation and the majority of their presentation will be focused on virtual reality. Now, I
Yeah.
could go into 101 reasons why I don't think VR is going to be a big thing. You and I know, Danny. I believe that it's a niche thing. There's too many obstacles to overcome, particularly in regards to things like motion sickness, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
However,
Um.
I believe that they're going to focus a lot on VR and what will be the launch titles for VR. And I also believe that that they'll announce that they're going to be doing No Man's Sky with a VR update when the
Yep.
VR unit comes out. You know, when the VR headset comes out in October.
Hmm.
Uh, they're also going to announce a brand new, as they say in Germany, jump and run Crash Bandicoot. Jump and run just means it's a platform game.
Yep.
Yep. Regardless of whether the fact that Activision still own Crash Bandicoot, right? Regardless of that fact, people who have played Uncharted 4, the first thing that they went nuts about was the fact that you could play the original Crash Bandicoot within Uncharted 4.
Yep.
That's a great thing because Naughty Dog were the development company behind it. Activision owned the title, owned the character, you know. But
Yeah.
what people don't realise is that for Naughty Dog to have done that, they would have had to have got permission from Activision.
Yep.
And more importantly, if Naughty Dog, who are an in-house development company for PlayStation, got permission for that, it's not a hard jump to say Crash Bandicoot.
Yep.
I definitely think they're going to announce Crash Bandicoot. I also think we're going to hear some more about the proposed Last of Us movie, and we're going to be told about The Last of Us 2. And
Yeah.
by told, I don't mean they're going to give us the release date. They'll probably give us the release date at Tokyo Game Exposition.
Um.
I
That
believe
company can do no wrong at the minute, and even with
Naughty
the
Dog.
release of yeah,
Yes,
with the
the
release of
strategy.
Uncharted 4, it's just amazing. Like I played that game solidly for about a week from start to finish. I was blown away. I'd never played the Uncharted series until that.
Oh, they're really good games.
Yep,
Really
and I
are.
now have played the previous games, and I'm blown away.
Well, the the thing that the thing that gets me is that these companies, when given time, they can release masterpieces, absolute masterpieces. The Last of Us, Grand Theft Auto 5, Uncharted games, the Tomb Raider games, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I believe a new Tomb Raider game is going to be announced as well but that won't be exclusive on one platform for a year. That'll be
Um,
for both platforms at the same time.
did they not announce, that the Tomb Raider that was out there, did they not make that Microsoft exclusive for a year?
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's gonna happen again.
I don't know. I don't know. I think that they've realised that that may have been a folly, and so
Money
they've moved.
talks.
This is very very true as well. Now, so far we're predicting that Sony are going to announce or PlayStation are going to announce an AR unit.
Yep.
They're going to focus more on VR games, including the launch titles for Morpheus. They're going to announce Crash Bandicoot. I
Yep.
think we're going to hear about The Last of Us 2. Maybe not a release date, but they make sure it's maybe alpha footage. EA are going to announce Battlefront 2 properly. We're going to get a new Star Wars RPG. There'll be a new RPG from both Microsoft for the Xbox One and Sony. There's going to be a couple other new IPs spread here and there. Bethesda. Well, I think Bethesda are probably going to announce the Elder Scrolls 6. And I believe that people will go head over tails for, that a new Elder Scrolls game, especially the Elder Scrolls 6, especially after I believe, and I think a lot of people were disappointed by the Elder Scrolls Online.
Yes, I was. What I can see Bethesda doing actually during their conference, the way last year they announced the mobile game and it released there and then worldwide.
Yes,
I can see them doing that with PS4 mods.
for Fallout 4.
Yes, because
Yes,
it's due out this month.
yep, that to
That would
me
be the
that's a
best and biggest place to announce it.
yes, that is an absolute winner in my opinion.
The first mod I'm gonna be installing is the Dragon Shouts.
Uh huh.
Seen a really good video
From
today
Skyrim.
from Skyrim. The Dragon Shouts from Skyrim. This guy had coded it into the engine and have ported it over to Fallout 4, and it is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Just
uh,
death claws
uh,
flying
uh,
across the map,
I could
hundreds of miles an hour.
I could just picture somebody walking up to the Brotherhood of Steel right now and going, Fusroda!
Yeah, and they go flying.
Uh,
Yep.
oh, I can actually picture that. I really shouldn't because it's made me laugh too much. Now, Take Two Interactive are going to be there in a major way,
Yep.
okay? And I know, Danny, that you're a bit of a Take Two fanboy, or
Um.
more a Rockstar fanboy,
Yeah, more
but
Rockstar than OB Take Two.
right. But with Take Two being the parent company, I suppose we're going to have to discuss Take Two.
Oh no.
But before we start on Take Two, let me just finish off about PlayStation by saying we are going to find out the release dates for Final Fantasy VII, the
Yes.
remastered version, and The Last Guardian. Both of
Just
which,
about to mention The Last Guardian. That's one
both
game
of
I'm
which,
not excited for.
oh, you should be.
I don't know. It's just
Well, a game that's 11 years in the making. See
it's
if,
the
see
same.
if I've see if I've
Yes.
waited 11 years for a game that takes 4 hours to complete.
Yeah. It's the same with No Man's Sky as well. It's been delayed after delay. And fair enough, yeah, small company and all that, but there is so much I can take in terms of delays that now I'm not really as excited.
Well, one of the things that people forget about The Last Guardian, and it's something I forget as well, is that it was originally scheduled for release in 2011, and then it got cancelled,
Yes.
and then it got brought back out, and then it, out the
Hmm.
cupboard, dusted off, and then for whatever reason, they never mentioned it again
Hmm.
until last
Yeah.
year's E3, which, by the way, was predicted by yours truly.
Yeah. What's that Japanese game that was crowdfunded during last year's conference?
Oh,
Or was
Shenmue,
it?
Shenmue 3.
Yeah.
Yes, I think we'll
I
find
think
out the
we'll hear
release
more
date.
about it.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, because it made its, the crowdfunding thing was announced last year at
Mm,
E3, and they made the crowdfunding within 24 hours. So,
yeah. We haven't heard
Shenmue,
much since. I've actually, except for it may be on shaky ground.
well, there's been a couple of screenshots shown and that sort of
Yeah.
thing, and they seemed to be quite far along the development
Mm,
tree. But it is on shaky ground. You're correct, and
I've heard rumors like that.
I think
That
that's more along the lines of
things have been going
lack
on.
of lack of financial stability in regards to the workers. Not so much the
Yes.
game. The money's there for all the technology and that the game needs,
Yeah.
but you can't expect people who are good at their job to do their job for free. You
Yeah.
have to pay them, and I think that's where there may be issues. Uh, Now, so we're going to hear The Last Guardian release date, Final Fantasy VII Episode 1 release date. We're probably going to hear from Telltale Games in regards to their new Batman game. And I think Rocksteady are going to be releasing a new Batman title as well.
Um, personally think they're done with Batman. I think it might be Warner Brothers Montreal. On I
Well,
sincerely hope.
I didn't hear it was Warner Brothers Montreal. I heard that because
Yeah.
Rocksteady had done such a good job with the Arkham trilogy,
No,
they
no, no,
might
no. If you
branch
remember Arkham
interesting.
Origins,
Yes.
Origins is due a sequel. And apparently it's going to be announced at E3.
So what would that be called? Arkham Ends?
Well, it could continue on
you,
before the
you,
Asylum, like those kind of.
this is true.
Yeah.
This is
The only
true.
thing from Rocksteady we'll hear is either a new superhero game, hoping for Superman.
Superman.
Yes, but
Knew about it last year.
I don't know whether that's going to happen or not. I think they'll
Yes.
just promote their Arkham trilogy.
Do you think
You
we're
know.
yeah the Arkham trilogy because we're getting Arkham Asylum and Arkham City
Yeah.
remastered? So yeah, they're probably going to release all of them together.
Yeah.
So Take Two,
Yep.
right now. I'm a great believer that no one wins E3 because E3 is more than just video games.
The only people
It's
that win is consumers,
yes, right. It's an electronics
fans.
exposition in regards to hardware, software, whatever, right? So, with that in mind, if there was going to be a company who you would say are going to win E3 in regards to the video game side of it, then my money is a 100% everything and the kitchen sink I would put on Take Two Interactive.
Yeah, I would have to
This
agree with
year,
you there.
this year they are just going to annihilate everybody.
Yeah, it's just going to be announcement after announcement, especially regarding Rockstar. I
Yes.
think you have a few announcements you wanted
Oh, oh
predictions.
yes, oh yes, oh yes. Right. The Red Dead Redux is going to be
Yeah,
Red Dead Redemption, Red Dead Revolver, Red Dead Undead Nightmare, all in a one box, all together, much the same as the Uncharted collection.
yeah,
They will then follow that up by saying we have a new Red Dead title, we have a new Red Dead game. Here it is, and it's a prequel to Redemption, so it'll be set between Revolver and Redemption. I'm hoping it's going to take one of the characters, one of the NPC characters from Redemption and tell us their story.
yeah.
But
I would love to see it myself.
I don't know. I don't know what story they're going to go with. But Red Dead Redux and Red Dead Redemption, everybody calls it Red Dead Redemption 2, but it's actually a prequel. But we'll call it Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead
Mhm.
Redemption 2 and Red Dead Redux. Okay? Now, that's the first Rockstar thing. We're going to see recently Rockstar, or Take Two I should say, renewed their copyright and patent for the game that they announced a wee while back there, called Agent. And that's been renewed. The trademark for that has been renewed. So the
Mm,
chances are they're going to tell us that Agent is still coming, but we probably won't get it till about 2018, and that's due to technical issues of some description,
yeah.
possibly involving AR or VR, but because of technical issues, they've had to delay Agent. Because if they didn't have to renew the trademark, that would be telling me that Agent would have probably been released this year.
Or
Okay,
dumped.
or completely canned. Yes, totally. Uh, I also think, and this isn't a Take Two company, but I've just spotted this in my notes. I also think that we're going to see the Order 1886 2, and
Oh,
this is going to be a much larger game, a much longer game. I don't think it's going to be on the same
oh,
scale as, say, The Witcher or Just Cause or Grand Theft Auto 5, but it is going to be large compared to the Order 1886. But back to Take
yeah.
Two. Now, yeah,
One, let's face it, the order it was just basically a graphical showcase for the console it was released on. That's all it was.
yes, yes, completely
That's all I
agree with
wanted
you.
to say.
Completely agree with you. Just a graphical showcase, but imagine that graphical showcase with actually an excellent story and
Yeah,
a longer length of time.
yeah. It had so
You know,
much promise, but
so
didn't
much
deliver.
promise, and it let people down. Now,
Yeah.
back to Take Two. Uh, as we know, they own 2K, and
Yes.
2K games have got a number of regular franchises: NBA, MLB, that's National Basketball Association and Major League Baseball, and the WWE game. And obviously,
Yep.
yesterday it was announced the WWE game is going to be released in September. Pardon me? And you're able to get as a pre-order bonus the wrestler Goldberg,
Yep.
right?
He's the
Or
face of the cover.
yes, or should I say two versions of Goldberg? I don't know how they can do two versions of Goldberg because
Um,
he dressed the same in WCW and the WWE. So
I was just about to say WCW and WWE.
like, he dressed the same. He just dressed
Yeah.
like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Black trunks, black boots, done. Job is a good one. So I don't know how they're going to do that. But anyway, so 2K are also releasing in July Mafia 3. I think
I
that
can't wait.
neither can I. Mafia 3 is going to be brilliant because they've had a lot of time to work on this. A
Yeah.
lot of time. On top of that, I think it's going to have a very wide ranging story, probably more so than even the GTA 5 story, which was, you know, quite far
Yeah.
ranging. It involves psychiatrists, movie premieres, mercenaries, psychopaths. I think Mafia 3 is going to be along the same lines, but only in a more in your face, larger way because it's not. The Mafia games aren't a parody of
Yeah.
popular culture set within a city, unlike the GTA games.
Yeah.
Uh, so I think we're going to see a hell of a lot from Take Two regarding Mafia 3. And I think
Um,
the majority of their display area will be taken up with Mafia 3 stuff.
did it?
Rocks,
Did they mention an online component to that game, or is it single player? I
not
hope it's
as
single
yet.
player.
It, it's definitely got a story mode, but none of the
Yeah.
previous two Mafia games had a multiplayer, so I wouldn't expect Mafia 3 to have one either. That's
Mm.
just
Imagine running your own mafia online,
yes, I know that I think that's what the next DLC for Grand Theft Auto 5 Online is intending to do.
which releases tomorrow.
Well, it releases tomorrow,
You heard
yes.
it here first.
Well, not really. They did announce it last week. Uh, so you didn't hear it here first, folks, but you did hear it enthusiastically here, which is much the same thing. Now, going back to Rockstar. So, Rockstar have already said that they've got two franchises that will be continuous franchises for them, and that's the Red Dead franchise and the GTA franchise.
Yeah.
I don't think they are going to announce Grand Theft Auto 6. I
Neither do
just
I.
don't think they will. Even though Rockstar have had many internal troubles over the last year or so with the Housers and all that, I don't think that they're going to give us GTA 6 in the next 18 months. I think GTA 6 will be announced next year for a 2018 release.
Yeah, or even 2020.
No, 2018 release.
Yeah.
Announced in 2017 for a 2018 release.
Yeah.
I do believe, however, that they will outline a roadmap for Grand Theft Auto Online and its DLC. And the reason that they'll do that, and the reason I think they will announce that, is because they said last week, Take-Two announced last week, that they don't have any intentions of supporting Grand Theft Auto Online forever. They will eventually be withdrawing support. That doesn't mean the servers won't be active. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean players won't be on the servers. It just means that there will be no support from Rockstar,
Yeah.
which means the DLC will dry up. For the DLC to dry up, they have to have an end game for that. And the
Yeah.
only way that they can have an end game is if they have a idea in their head of when they're going to release Grand Theft Auto 6, which I believe will have its own separate online component, its own separate version of Grand Theft Auto Online. And never the twain shall meet
Yeah.
at all. That's that's my opinion. I'm no I haven't been told that. As you know, I have a couple of contacts in various places within the video game industry. I'm not going to name any names,
Mm.
but the contact who, shall we say, gives me information regarding Rockstar, he has said that they have to have an end game
Yeah.
because he himself doesn't understand why, or didn't initially understand why they would withdraw support for Grand Theft Auto Online, which, remember, is a facility that at one point, at the start of this year, certainly was making Rockstar 60 million a month.
Yeah. That's why we've all got free DLC.
Exactly. And I do have to say right now, let me stress this, thank you to all those people who have bought shark cards,
Yeah.
because without yous, we wouldn't have free DLC.
Yeah. I think more companies should take a leaf out of Rockstar's book.
Well,
They've done the shark cards in the right way. You know, it's not in your face.
yes, but then of course you've got a company like CD Projekt Red, who
Who
give
release
you
other DLC.
yeah, whose DLC for The Witcher 3 has been free, and more importantly, the Blood and Wine expansion, from what I've been told, is absolutely huge. It's like a
Yeah.
whole new game. You know, companies need to start taking note. EA, this is for you. Take a note for CD Projekt Red and Rockstar on how you do DLC and microtransactions, because they're two companies, they've got it on the button. Now,
Yeah.
a lot of people will be saying, "Oh, what about an LA Noir 2?" Never going to happen.
Great
Never
game, all the same, but
going
never
to
gonna happen.
happen. Never going to happen at all anymore.
I would love to see a bully.
Well, they've just gave us a remastered version, or
Yeah.
like the version that you can get on the PS4. I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think they're going to. I think they're going to
No.
concentrate. Well, Rockstar certainly. After they announced Red Dead, didn't that? They're going to concentrate on GTA,
Hmm.
and then in the next generation of consoles, there's going to be a new Red Dead game, and then there's going to
Yeah.
be a new GTA game. And I think Rockstar will have themselves in that pattern from now on.
Yeah.
It used to be that from a certain point in the 90s to 2013, Rockstar were actually releasing a game a year. People think they take years to release their games.
I
They,
thought that same up until about a week ago whenever you
aye,
had explained it to me.
aye, they don't. It's just they release the biggest franchises, your Red Dead, your GTA, every so often.
Yeah, they take their time with it.
Yes,
And it
because
shows in game as well. I'm
of
still
course it
discovering
does.
stuff online, and as you are as well.
Yes, exactly,
You
and
know.
and that's the thing. And there is no other company, no other video game company on earth that would come up with a game that gave you an Easter egg that no one can solve. Mainly
Yeah.
because the Easter egg doesn't actually exist.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm
maybe
gonna say it. GTA 5 is the best game I've played in years. You know, just it's the only game I play every day, as you know yourself.
yes. It will always be for me, Danny. It will always be Final Fantasy VII. And
Yeah.
before I close up, I'd just like to say one or two things about Final Fantasy VII. Uh, I think the remaster is going to be absolutely fantastic. I think E3 we're going to find out the actual release date, and we're going to find out the roadmap for the episodic release that we've been told it's going to be. And I genuinely 100% feel that we're going to, this E3, I think it's going to underwhelm a lot of people. I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed because this E3, the games,
Hmm.
they're not going to be, the games that are going to be announced aren't going to be for the people just coming into the generation. It's going to be for the older gamer. Guys like me who grew up playing things like the Atari 2600, progressing onto MSXs and
Yeah,
Spectrums and things like
that's
that.
the feel I'm getting as well.
This E3 is for the older generation of gamer. Last year's E3 was to attract new people, because they went all out with VR.
Yeah.
This year,
I
I
find it
feel
very underwhelming.
E3, yes, this year I feel E3 is going to be very underwhelming for all those, let's say, under 21-year-olds who have got into video gaming in the last 5 or 6 years. They're the ones that are looking forward to E3, and they're the ones that are going to be the most disappointed by E3 this
Yeah.
year, because they're basically going to say to themselves after a lot of the announcements, that's the same thing that they announced 2 years ago, only with a
Hmm.
different number. You know?
Quick question.
Yes, go on.
Do you think Xbox or Sony are going to throw a few surprises in, like few free games, etc., that people
No,
can download as a thank you?
no, not at all.
Or
They have done it before, but I don't think they'll do it this year. Because let's be honest, what would they give us? They'd
indie
have to give
games
us a game.
galore.
Yeah, exactly. And from the from the fallout of indie games that we're seeing every single month with PlayStation Plus, people aren't
Mm.
exactly happy about
There was a
indie
2K
games.
game released on this PlayStation Plus, NBA 2K16. I have that
Yes,
game, and it's actually
yes.
not a bad game.
It's actually released tomorrow with the PlayStation Plus games. Yes,
Yes.
I'm not saying that there's bad games there.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that for the first 6 months, or for the first 5 months of this year, every PlayStation Plus game for the PlayStation 4 was an
Okay.
indie.
Yeah.
Right now, if you're paying £40 a year and you've got to pay, and you're paying that £40 just to access a network which was free on the PlayStation 3. For that £40, you're expecting a wee, when it used to be free, you're
Yeah.
expecting a wee bit more from the company you're giving money to, and people are not getting value for that money. All Sony had to do, all PlayStation had to do was just go, right, our network's going to be the exact same as the PlayStation 3. It's going to be totally free. You get free games with PlayStation Plus, and
Yeah.
to entice you to buy PlayStation Plus,
They
they
should
always
actually
gave
add
you
PS Now.
they always
to that.
gave you an absolutely fantastic selection.
Yep.
I agree. PlayStation Now should be included as part of your PlayStation Plus subscription. That way, you're getting the best of both worlds, even if it means that the multiplayer component for the PlayStation Now games is taken away, because the £40 is used to give you access to the PlayStation Network and PlayStation Now, which is contained on part of the network, the Gaikai network that they bought for 320 million in
Which is
2012.
actually very, very good. I've actually used it on my crappy internet, and it works flawlessly.
Yes,
I have never seen that from any other service.
yes. Now, let me just say, folks, Danny's internet provider is known as Hamster Wheel Internet. Uh, uh, However, I digress. Now, we've actually overran our time by about 10 minutes. So we are going to have to say goodbye to you folks. But you can catch us on the Ramble Media Facebook page and the ramblemedia.tv website. And if you have any questions or wish to discuss anything that we've said on tonight's show or any of our previous shows, then you can contact us on the Ramble Media Twitter, which is @RambleMedia. I've been your host, Ricky McMillan. He's been Danny Black.
All right. Thank you.
This week's Super Game Bros has been sponsored by G2A.com and No Scope Gaming Glasses. And from us at Super Game Bros, it's game over.